Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof,
Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for redress of
or
grievances.
abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble and to petition the government for a redress of grievances.
Freedom of speech to me would probably mean that I'm allowed to state my opinion, allowed to disagree with people, and of course not in a bad way, but at least state my own opinion.
Freedom of speech is extremely important because, you know, it allows citizens of the United States to say what they want, you know, post things on public media places. But as soon as you enter the school, those rules change because, you know, you're in a more controlled environment and they don't allow you to say and do some of the things that you could do on a normal basis.
As far as speech goes, a lot of students feel like they have the freedom of speech, which they do. They think that's more unlimited. And what we have to do as a school is to educate them that they don't have unlimited freedom of speech. Where they have the ability to express their opinions, but it also comes to an end when it violates someone else's right, when it becomes hurtful or harmful to someone else.
I think there needs to be a level at which, you know, those rights kind of stop and common sense picks up. I mean, we want you guys to be able to say the things that you to learn and to experience freedom and all that kind of stuff. But I would say, like most Americans say, I have freedom of speech. And, you know, the reality is you do. You have the freedom of speech, but you have to be accountable for the things that you say. You know, one of the things I talk about in my government classes is that, you know, there's a lot of court cases out there where people say, you know, I have freedom of speech to do this and freedom of speech to do that, but the courts have come down and they say, well, you can't say things that are obscene or do things that are obscene because that's not protected speech, and you can't do things like yell fire in a theater or something like that that could cause harm to other individuals.
How should a school handle a situation in which a student utilizes their First Amendment rights but it violates a school policy?
Fortunately, some new problem that they never anticipated will come, and that ultimately what they'll have to do is make a judgment call of kind of a balancing test again between the offense or the danger and trying, if at all possible, to protect the rights that are very important to all of us. You're going to mostly get them in one or two ways, either the actual class that's talking about the Constitution or via the rules. You know, there are things we get at there's run the stop sign is somehow ultimately tied to protecting your safe right to travel through that intersection without me running the stop sign. So,
and traditionally a student's right to free speech is hindered by dress codes and other school policies, like we couldn't wear the Confederate flag.
It's great that you want to, you know, individualize yourself and have speech, but it's not cool if it's trampling on somebody else. I touched on that a minute ago. So I think you'll know if mom and daddy or whoever you learned what's right and wrong, within that you'll know how to best exercise your rights.